Shalom from Melbourne, Australia. This is Simon Kariuki, and I've been in Luke 23, 50 to 56. And we have been on the journey to the cross in this month of drawing close to the cross. I hope you have watched all the videos from the first day of this month to catch up in our journey. Welcome on board if you are joining for the first time, and thank you very much for being this part of this journey. Yesterday we were looking at the redemption story in threes, in patterns of three. Today, I want to look at Joseph of Arimathea. This was one of the council members of the Sanhedrin who did not agree with the decision that was taken by the chief priest of the day to crucify Jesus. You know, they played a fundamental role in crucifying Jesus. But he was a righteous man, a just man in a corrupt system. In every corrupt system, you will always find somebody who is just or righteous or merciful or tender-hearted. I remember Pharaoh's daughter. I normally call them Pharaoh's daughter. These are people who have a soft heart in the midst of a corrupt system. So in the death of Jesus, Joseph of Arimathea jumps from obscurity to prominence, according to prophecy in Isaiah 53. Was a man that is said to have been waiting for the kingdom. And in the death and the suffering of Jesus, he moves from waiting to becoming part of the kingdom. He did not become part of the kingdom in the glory of it, but in the suffering of it, in seeing the sufferings of Jesus Christ, in the cutting into two. When Jesus died, there was darkness for 3 hours, there was an earthquake, and in all that, Joseph of Arimathea had a revelation that the kingdom had already come in the person of Jesus Christ. And he did that which the apostles of the day did not do. They ought to have been the ones to ask for the body of Jesus, but they were watching from a distance. And he boldly went to Pilate and asked for the body of Jesus, and he touched the crucified Christ. He removed him from the cross and he buried him in his tomb. It's a tomb of the rich. So Joseph of Arimathea not only gave up his tomb, but he gave up his fear and he gave up his position. In the death of Christ, he became somebody who played a fundamental role. He became one of the disciples of Jesus. He did that which Peter, James, and John ought to have done as part of the inner circle. And so I'm thinking of this and thinking of how he moved from waiting for the kingdom, entering the kingdom, from fear to boldness in the burial of Jesus. So reflect with me on this matter on this day when we reflect on Jesus Christ being in the tomb. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you for following. Bye.